However, talking on the India point of view, let's get you this breaking update. What we are learning through sources as far as India sheltering an Iranian warship, well, that seems to be this development that has now taken place. Now, Iris Dina, what happened to the Iranian warship incident in the south of Sri Lanka? Iran, meanwhile, seemed to have approached India seeking urgent docking of one of its naval ships. Now, the Iranian vessel, Iris Lavan, this is another Iranian vessel that we are speaking of, which was also in the region for international fleet review, reportedly developed technical issues. Now, the request was received on the 28th of February. India, meanwhile, approved the docking on the 1st of March at the Kochi port, and the ship later docked at Kochi on the 4th of March, and its crew of 183 members are currently being accommodated at the naval facilities in Kochi. Now, amid the escalating conflict in West Asia and days after the US struck down an Iranian vessel, new details have now emerged about Iran reaching out to India for assistance. Now, sources say that the government of India has revealed that days before Iris Dina incident that happened in the south of Sri Lanka, Iran approached India seeking urgent docking of one of its naval ships. Now, the Iranian vessel, which is the Iris Lavan, which was in the region for international fleet review, that seems to have now been docked in India after the approval that came in from the Indian authorities. However, on the humanitarian point of view, what we are looking at when it comes to the sunken ship, the naval vessel of Iran, which was Iris Dina, that was torpedoed by a US submarine, and the first incident that has been reported since World War II, the people, the soldiers, the sailors who survived, they are now being assisted on part of Iran, on part of India, and also on part of Sri Lanka. So let's get you a basic understanding how India has sheltered Iranian warship, and get you a basic understanding exactly where 183 crew members of Iris Lavan, who are being accommodated at the naval facilities in Kochi. So, Imran, looking at the current circumstances, there have been different opinions that have been coming in from the leadership there in Sri Lanka as well. But the pictures that we have been continuously seeing since yesterday, there have been very few survivors, but more than 80 soldiers of Iranian Navy seems to have lost their life when where their vessel was torpedoed in international waters.
Well, absolutely. And the remaining 33 right behind me, what you're showing the visuals here, are being treated here at the National Hospital in Galle. Now, this is the incident which has made international news, especially, and brought India, Sri Lanka also into the sphere of this war there. So just showing how the war, which might have started within two countries, but now have engulfed several nations connecting it. Now, this is now we're living in a globalized world, and even the war is, even though fought between three countries, it's been globalized, and many countries are sucked into it. Especially now, we're seeing that Iris Dina, which had come for an exercise to India, and after returning international waters, it was torpedoed by the U.S. Navy, and now which is considered after the World War II and such the biggest incident. The U.S. has so far targeted 20 ships that belong to Iranian countries in this war, escalation of wars has happened, and now this particular incident, Iris Dina, where 80 soldiers of the Iranian Navy died, and 33 are recovering here at the hospital, the National Hospital in Galle, has led to a lot of diplomatic international fiasco over it now, where the U.S. is asking Sri Lanka not to send back the sailors, and whether it's about the Dana or another U.S. Iranian vessel which is sought shelter, saying that they have some malfunctioning in the ship.
Yes.
Now saying that not to
so assistance that have been provided on part of India as well. Let me also introduce Major General G.G. Dwivedi. He's joining us here on the broadcast, and so is Lieutenant General K.J. Singh as well, who is the former Western Army commander. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and good morning. Lieutenant General K.J. Singh, sir, when we speak of the current scenario and especially what is happening in the high seas, sir, there seems to be an understanding which is now required, especially for those who are raising questions as to what India could have done. Territorial waters, economic zones, and also international waters, sir. The differentiation where it lies.
Jai Hind, Amita. Firstly, let me assure your viewers that I, despite being from Army, I did a 1-year-long course with Navy, Naval Staff course. So had an occasion to study this subject. Now, there are two dimensions to this. One is the pure legal dimension, wherein it means that every country has territorial jurisdiction up to 12 nautical miles. That's all, 12 nautical miles. So, seas traditionally are open for free passage and trade, but the day the war starts, seas are also open for war. So, any ship of India which is transiting anywhere will become open to attack by an adversary the day hostilities are joined. And you can't technically say that war is taking place in Persian Gulf. Wherever ships are, they become susceptible to attack. So this is the legal dimension, and we are on a very sticky wicket because UN Convention on Laws of Seas has been signed by USA, not yet ratified. And China cares two hoots about it. In South China Sea, it does whatever it likes. Now, I have given you the legal dimension, and this ship, when it sank, was not in Indian territorial waters, was off the Sri Lankan waters, had been requested them for sheltering, and there was some delay in processing. That has been discussed in Sri Lankan parliament also. And near Kochi, we have given shelter to a ship. That we have done.
Absolutely,
Now,
because where assistance was required, India has done on its end. And as far as when it comes to the downship, Iris Dina is concerned, India has also lent and assisting or a supporting hand, especially when it comes to the relief and the rescue operations. However, more than 80 sailors have been also sunk with this ship.